Alright, welcome to the next unit. In this unit we're going to be discussing lines and slopes. So let's say we have the point 2 comma 0 and let's see 4 comma 2. And we want to figure out the slope of the line that includes these 2 points. So we're going to be using the slope formula here. So let's write the formula to the side and then we're going to go ahead and utilize it. So m is equal to the slope, which is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this is probably familiar to you from Algebra 1. If not, a slope is pretty much the rate of change of a certain line, or the factor that defines the relationship between two variables. Now, if that sounds pretty confusing, then you can go ahead and watch our videos on Algebra 1 and get a little more intuitive understanding on what a slope and lines are in general. So now let's go ahead and utilize that formula and find what the slope of this particular line that contains these 2 points is. So we're going to label these, let me use a different color. We're going to label these x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. And you could have done it other way. You could have called these ones x2, y2, or x1, y1. But you just have to be consistent with it. It'll come out to the same thing. Alright, so now we can go ahead and plug it in. So we have y2 minus y1, so 2 minus 0 over x2 minus x1. So we have 4 minus 2, so 4 minus 2. So that equals 2 minus 0 is 2, so 2 over 4 minus 2 is also 2. So that's 1. So the slope of this line is 1. Let's go ahead and see if we can figure out a slope of a line with looking at the graph. Alright. So this is not going to be very drawn to scale, but we can assume that this point is on the line, which is 1 comma 1. Alright, so a problem might give you a line that's already drawn like this, and it might ask, what is the slope of this line? So you're basically calculating the rise over run between every different point. So from this point, we can count the rise over run for the next point, and so forth and so on. And you can do that to any 2 points and you'll get the same exact slope. So in this line, there's only 2 points that are that we exactly know, because we can't assume that this point is, for example, it looks like it's 2, 2, 2, 2, but we can't quite assume. But this one right here is it's exactly on 1, 1, and they kind of made that evident, so we can assume that that's 1, 1. So we know 1 point, which is 1 comma 1, and we also know that this line goes through the origin, which means it goes through 0, 0. So we know another point, which goes through the line, which is 0, 0. So now we can use the formula. So we have 1 minus 0 over 1 minus 0, and that just becomes a 1.